Welcome to Animates, a retro anime review comedy podcast. Join our resident anime nerd Mackenzie and anime noob Lindsay as they delve into their VHS vault and review the best and worst of what the 80s and 90s had to offer. These episodes contain spoilers and adult language, so stick around if you're cool like that.
I just love that they're like, why don't we have a bath and then thumb wrestle? And I was like, that's your date night? Thumb wrestling?
I think that's alluding to something. Let's jump into today's episode of Animates.
Hell yeah.
With
I'm so ready for this.
Dirty Pair.
Ooh! This week, we are transported to the year 2138, where humanity has spread itself across the galaxies. A corporation called the World Welfare Works Association, or 3WA, helps member systems of the United Galactica Federation deal with various planetary scale problems for profit by sending agents called trouble consultants. Enter Yuri and Kei, a dynamic duo with a reputation for taking care of missions in maybe less orthodox ways, leaving trails of damage wherever they go, earning them the nickname Dirty Pair, which of course they hate. Listed on Wikipedia as a girls with guns science fiction comedy space opera, this show is based on the light novels written by Haruka Takachiho. I hope I'm saying that right.
That's about right. Yeah.
Okay. The show ran for 24 episodes on Nippon Television Affiliates, which won it the Armitage Anime Grand Prix. And then 2 additional scripts were written and produced for the show later and released in 1987. So bringing the grand total up to 26.
No, it wasn't actually that it was rewritten later. The final 2 episodes were cut for time because of production delays that would have had them come out during the holiday season.
Oh,
so they were like, they just ended the series at like 24 and then later released these 25, 26 because they're like, oops, did we not finish the series? Sorry.
I mean, if I was watching this series when it was first on and, loved it and was like, dang it. And then they were like, surprise, bitches, we have 2 more episodes for you. I would be so excited.
Oh, yeah. But you would have also been annoyed when the first were like, by the way, we're not showing the last 2.
I mean, if I didn't know that little part, I would be fine.
That's fair. That's one of my little facts for today.
Oh, wow. You got facts.
It also has a couple manga and a couple movies.
It does.
But not a lot.
No.
Just a few.
No, but it was great.
Do you know why we are watching this in Japanese instead of our usual dub?
Because there is no English dub.
Do you know why there is no English dub, though?
No, I don't. Enlighten me.
So, until 2021, the isolated music, audio, and sound effect tracks were lost. So they'd have to overdub over the existing words in one file, which wouldn't make sense. You'd be hearing both the Japanese and the English, or having to like really trying to tone down the quality of the audio by trying to cut the audio of the voices out.
Oh my god.
So they couldn't find them until 2021. And then in 2021, when they got found, they were like, oh shit, we got to do this. So they started a Kickstarter to bring in a new dub of Dirty Pair.
Oh, that makes me excited.
And what's cool about it is that there was an anime version of the Dirty Pair again in 1994 with a more modern looking style.
I didn't like the modern style at all.
No, I don't like the modern look. I'm much more a fan of the retro look, but the voice actors were really beloved from that one. So they went so far as to get the actual original voice actor of Rei to come back. Now, when I say come back, I mean literally out of retirement. Not that she's old and retired, but Kei was her only voice acting credit.
Oh.
But yeah, so she's coming back as Rei, which people are really happy about.
Kei. It's Kei. She's coming back as Kei.
So she's coming back as Kei, which people are really happy about. I'm going to get this at one point.
I mean, if Kei is your only acting credit, I mean, that's pretty great.
Yeah, because it's like it's a fairly well-known and loved series. And like I can see why. I had a blast watching this.
Oh, yeah.
Like
this one was great.
We've watched a couple off things for a few episodes. And Dragon Ball was a nice change, but this was just like just like a nice little fun, commitment-free. Like, you could technically come in on this at any episode if you want to. It's not like it's
Yeah, I think you
following a
could.
direct storyline.
No.
And it's just like it's a fun little jaunt through destruction and chaos.
Yeah, it's just like this fun little sci-fi show about like two girls kicking ass and destroying more than they probably should.
Two
As
girls,
they try
one
to save
spaceship.
people. Yep, and the spaceship has a cute little kiss decal on it, which I love.
Moving into episode 1.
Oh my gosh. Which is called How to Kill a Computer. I
Which
love the titles of the episodes.
but this one talks about how to kill a computer, and that's because all of these big cities that the people have built in the future using supercomputers have names. Specifically, this supercomputer's name is Brian.
Which I was like, that's such a boring computer name.
But that's the funny part about it. Is you've got this massive city running computer, and its name is Brian.
Man.
And so we find ourselves in Eleanor City's Damocles Tower, which is where we first meet our titular heroes, the Dirty Pair, aka the Lovely Angels, aka Kei and Yuri.
Woo.
When Brian starts going haywire, leaving one bedroom a sauna and the other freezing cold. Things are frosty in that bedroom.
I would hate it so much.
But it's okay for Yuri, because she's got my favorite character to keep her warm.
Oh my gosh, Moogie.
Moogie.
Oh my gosh. Apparently, Moogie's name is an acronym for Military Unit of Genetic Higher Intelligence.
I mean, it makes sense. He's pretty smart. We see him in later episodes being pretty smart, but he's called a cat creature.
He's so cute.
He is like, think of a bear and then times it by like 2.
And then make it a cat.
Yeah. He's huge. She uses his tail as like a blanket when she's cold.
Yeah.
It's great. I love him. He's my favorite character.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we meet Kei and Yuri. Kei is this hot-blooded redhead with cool hair and a saucy attitude. And Yuri is more of a soft-spoken and shy girl rocking long blue hair with a bit of a modest attitude.
Yep.
As you'd mentioned, they are trouble consultants.
Oh, yeah.
Who have a bad rap for doing things the wrong way. They get
or
results.
Or just unconventionally.
Yeah. If your goal is to unscrew a doorknob, they might use a Dremel to just drill it out of the door.
I feel like they would just like blow up the door.
Yeah. And then they would tell you at least the doorknob's gone too.
Yeah, exactly. Problem solved. Just not in the way you would like.
Yeah.
It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Exactly. It's kind of exactly. That's kind of how they go about everything. Is this like Looney Tunes-esque fuck it, we ball.
Yep, 100%.
Attitude. Not
it's
that
so
Yuri's not quite for that attitude, but she kind of goes along with Kei.
Yeah,
she doesn't really have a choice.
She tries her best.
Yeah. So we find out that Brian is malfunctioning, and we also learn that it literally controls every aspect of this entire place.
Yep.
So all of the robots have gone crazy.
Yep.
All
Which
of the
is like
electronics.
my worst nightmare. I hate robots.
We got Terminators coming through and attacking people, and walls are blowing up and sewage systems are flooding everywhere.
Yep.
The entire tower is fucked.
Oh yeah, it is not doing well.
And Yuri and Kei realize that they can't get in contact with their boss, so that means that they must take it upon themselves to solve this problem. Of course, they're the lovely angels.
Yes.
That they so think they're called, that no one seems to agree.
Oh yeah.
So they make their way through the tower. They're fighting robots. They're getting mistaken for female wrestlers come to save the day.
I thought that was so funny. I was like, yeah, I could kind of see it, but I'm also like, what would make these people think that just random female wrestlers are showing up?
So later on, we learn that female wrestling's a big thing in Japan. But also their outfits.
Yeah,
those are not typical. What are they called?
Tactical outfits.
Tactical outfits for the consultants of this company.
Yeah,
they choose their own outfits, and honestly, I like the outfits.
Oh, I love the outfits.
They're simple and sci-fi, but they're like, they're fun. They're not too like fan servicey. It's a little bit of cheek, but it's very minimal. They're keeping it kind of classic.
It's not like porny.
No.
Which I appreciate.
No, and I know some of our listeners out there love that fan service. We're not big on the fan service. Sorry, don't hate us. We're not going to yuck your yum, but we kind of prefer it when it's not too intense. Or if it
Yep.
is, it has a reason.
Well, I like that they can choose to weaponize their sexuality
Yeah,
instead of it like being always there in your face.
exactly.
Yeah.
So they finally come up with a plan to stop Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, once they eventually make it back to their ship after fighting all of these dozens of robots. It's a pretty simple concept for an episode. Fight the robots, get to your ship.
Yep.
They get to their ship. They've
Yep.
surfed some pieces of electronics through a tunnel. They've rode a bear away. Or I guess not a bear. They rode he's not a bear, he's a cat. They rode their little Moogie away.
Yep.
But then they come up with this genius plan.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a plan.
They contact the controller of like the teleportation technology.
Yeah, they're like warp drive.
Yeah, and they're like, we need you to phase an entire spaceship into the core of this tower.
Yeah, which I'm like, how wouldn't it like blow the entire thing up? Like, wouldn't that like extra screw your city over?
Remember, they're the dirty pair.
Yeah.
They don't care about this.
No.
And they somehow convince this controller to do it, and he phases this ship into the core, shutting down Brian.
Yep.
And quote unquote saving the day.
Yep. But also tipping the entire city.
The entire city is at like a 12-degree angle.
Yeah.
And none of the electronics work. So anyone that's living there has having to do everything manually, taking the stairs, or if they have a docking bay, take their ship from the higher floors. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Because everything's all good.
Did you notice this? Because I thought it was really funny that when like the tower, there's all this destruction going on. One of the businesses in the background was called Club Hentai.
What?
Yeah, there's a Club Hentai.
I did not see Club Hentai.
Oh, it was great.
Oh man. Is it like, now you gotta wonder if that's just like a name for a comic book store that sells a lot of hentai, or if it's just like a strip club.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's a strip club.
I would agree. I think it would also be a strip club.
Which, like, teach their own. If you want to go see a bunch of girls in cosplay, get naked, power to you.
Hell yeah.
I actually forgot to mention this. One of the ways that they were able to get away from Brian was because they gave it a conundrum.
Oh, yeah.
To determine which angel was the better angel. And they destroy him seconds before he gives his answer.
Yep.
Now, if you were to guess,
okay,
what angel do you think would be the one that was the better one?
Ooh, good question.
Yuri's more level-headed, but
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it would be Yuri. Yeah,
but also it probably would be Yuri. But Kei is technically better at what she does. Yuri is just better at doing it until that last point, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, I did a Witch Dirty Pair character on you, and it gave me Yuri. And I don't know if I'm sad about that or not.
I think Yuri's adorable. Man, you should have sent me that. I would have loved to do that test.
We'll get you to do it. Don't worry. We'll get you to do it.
Okay.
I did it like, I was just casually like sitting on the can and searching Dirty Pair. And yeah, it's... You
were searching Dirty Pair when you were on the can.
I made sure to put the word anime.
Good.
But so, yeah, I'm a Yuri. You're probably a Kei.
I probably am a Kei.
You're way more angry and feisty than me.
I am very chaotic.
Oh, there you go. Chaotic.
Oh my gosh.
And that's kind of where the episode ends, is them just like staring at this ship embedded in this computer with their boss being like, "Oh no."
And then the Leaning Tower of Pisa building complex
in the distance.
Yeah.
Which takes us to our episode 2.
Which is called "Do Lovely Angels Like Chest Hair?"
Do they?
Apparently not. I do. I like chest hair.
You like chest hair.
Do you, Mackenzie? Do you like chest hair?
On myself, sure. This is also the first time I actually listened to the theme song.
Oh, the really good one?
Yeah, which we didn't talk about at the start, so we're gonna talk about that now. It's like a baby Cowboy Bebop, because it is just like bassy and jazzy and just like...
My literal note was, that is a dank ass bass line.
Yeah, it just comes in and just hits you with it. It
Oh, it's
sounds
so
so
good.
damn good. 80s anime just seems to have this crazy addiction to pumping out top end bops for
Oh, yeah.
all of their intros.
They just slap so hard.
And I was just listening to it. I'm like, oh hell yeah! It's another one of those ones that I didn't skip when I was watching the episodes
Yep.
because it was like I don't know, if you've seen Cowboy Bebop.
No.
We will eventually watch Cowboy Bebop,
I've
but that
heard good things about the
whole
music.
thing is just one hit after another for the music. It's amazing,
Yep.
and this kind of came in like a baby version of that.
Oh,
And
cool.
I would just I'd throw it on a playlist that I'm listening to,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of have it bop in there. The ending song is, it's decent.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
not as
cute
good
little
as the
ditty.
intro, but it's a nice little
No.
little end to it. It makes sense to what's going on. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't all of a sudden change genres intensely. Um like
Just
a lot
becomes
of
like a
these do.
screaming death metal.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so
Yeah.
we find out that the world has a big problem with terrorists because this episode also starts out with a disaster, but in this case, it's a bomb on a luxury plane.
Mm-hmm. It's like another bomb on a luxury plane because apparently they're just plagued with Zephyr problems.
Yeah, and the dirty pair are called into their chief's office and given a new mission,
Yep.
with a partner with a deep voice named Grave.
Ooh, great.
And they promptly ask if he has chest hair.
Which, I mean, fair. If I'm working with someone, I want to know if they have chest hair.
Oh yeah, you show up
Oh,
to
yeah.
you show up to a film set and you're like, which one of you actors has chest hair?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Be like, do you have chest hair? Okay, sorry. Can't come on set.
Yeah, because they apparently they hate chest hair.
Yep.
And
Gotta wax that shit off.
have been chosen for this mission
Mhm.
from Brian.
Aw,
The
Brian.
fixed Brian apparently.
It was like, I guess he's back up and running after that massive.
not for the tower yet,
No.
but for at least some base operations. And it has been decided that these two are for some reason the best people for this mission. Both the assistant and Grave do not agree.
Yeah, they're like, why?
What are you
So, yeah.
doing here?
Part of me is like, is Brian actually back up and running, or is something knocked a little loose?
Probably knocked a little loose.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot that we didn't mention why Brian was haywiring in episode 1. It's because that Brian found out that there's a kill switch for him.
Okay. Yeah.
And he loses his mind because he doesn't want them to have the power to kill him. So he's going to
I
kill
mean-
everybody else.
Hey,
I get it.
again, robots are the worst. I am terrified of them.
Yeah. So the dirty pair board a plane. But this is no regular plane. It is a
Like a
cruise ship
luxury
airplane.
space. Yeah.
Flying through the stars. It is very quickly alluded to that the terrorists are on board when you see 2 workers knocked out on the ground, clothes stolen,
Whoa.
and
Shocking.
they are instructed to, stay on the ship and find the problem. But everyone has
Yep.
their own plans. Moogie goes undercover to steal food from the buffet.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Fair. And the dirty pair decide that they're going to go, or at least Kei is going to go outside on an untethered space jaunt. And
Safe.
Grave catches them and he's like, what are you doing? And they're like, we're totally not breaking orders like you told us not to. And then he agrees. Yeah, maybe actually you're right. You should go against my orders. Oh, okay. Way to stick to your guns there, Grave.
It was like, what a spine that guy has.
Yeah, well, he gets worse. And so
Mhm.
she goes on untethered space jaunt. Now, she's got rockets on her back to guide her around, but you will not
Mhm.
catch me going out into space without a cable.
No.
If your rockets fail, you just bye.
You just
Off
float.
You go. You're gone.
Yep. That's, oh my gosh. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you. You just take your
And-
helmet off.
Yeah. You just see ya. I don't need these next 2 hours of oxygen. I'm done.
Yep.
And Kei catches terrorists setting bombs outside,
Yep.
where we get an epic space battle while Nanmo, the robot, deals with the bombs.
Yeah.
I love Nanmo.
He's pretty great. Or they're
He-
pretty great.
I don't know. They're a little robot, and they've got a lot of little sassy attitude.
They do.
And they are deathly afraid of Kei because
Yep.
Kei is ready to send them into battle at a whim's notice, while Yuri is a little more chill about it.
Yeah. Again, she's the more level-headed one.
Yuri goes to get help
Mhm.
and gets knocked out by some gangster-looking dudes with Tommy guns, because apparently in space you still need your Tommy guns.
I guess. I mean, that's, if I ever go to space, I'll make sure to bring my Tommy gun.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope you would. Thankfully, Moogie steps in and lends some aid.
Yeah.
allowing Yuri to get back up and kick some ass.
Woo.
And I mean, for a pair that's known for causing a shit ton of trouble, they've been pretty good this episode. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't broken things that don't really need to be broken. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't caused too much of a fuckery.
Yeah. The only chaos they've caused is like untethered spacewalks.
Yeah, which like
Yeah.
apparently is a thing that you just do normally in this series, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Not,
Yep.
nothing too crazy in their world. After getting back in the ship, we see that Grave is being attacked by other gangsters,
Oh,
getting shot in
no.
the shoulder before, thankfully, our heroes arrive and save the day so
Yep.
far.
You would say flip the script. No damsel in distress.
Yeah, they catch the criminals because Moogie's holding them down,
Mhm.
and Grave, being a little wuss, is like, all right, we got to abandon ship. Who cares if it crashes into the city below? We got our criminals. Mission's over.
Yep.
He's all stressed out. And then the girls are like, no, you idiot, you big dumb lug. Mission ain't over. And then he realizes that they think less of him. So
You
he's
would say
gonna,
that's a motherfucker with a chest hair attitude right there.
yep. So he mans up, quote unquote, mans up.
Yep.
And he's like, I got to make them think I'm cool. So he sticks with them as they try to land the ship without crashing it into a city, only to find out that the reverse thrusters are broken.
No, not the reverse thrusters.
So Kei grabs gigajoules of energy on these two cables and holds it together because apparently this spacesuit is that good.
Oh man.
That
I
she
mean,
can-
it's the future. Who knows? We could have incredible spacesuits.
I mean, that's a lot of energy. Unless those
Yeah.
gloves are thick ass rubber, who knows? But
yeah.
so she manages to get the reverse thrusters on. They crash the ship in the desert.
Yep.
And
I mean, I would have thought they would have crashed it into the tower. Let's be honest.
well, there was one casualty, and it was that a different tower, just like some metal cell tower or something. But that's it. They crashed this ship. All is well. Moogie is seen holding down like 12 criminals under his body.
Yeah, badass.
And the chief, who still is calling them lovely angels, even though his
Mhm.
assistant keeps calling them the dirty pair, commends them for their bravery and their blah, 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 handling the thing. However, Grave was not in the office with the angels. He was in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
recovering from being shot in the shoulder.
Which is where we find out he has no chest hair.
Yeah, because the angels come in and he gets flirty.
He does get super flirty. And
And
they're like,
he-
well, you don't have chest hair, so obviously we can flirt back.
Well, they don't know this yet. They each kiss him on a cheek as a thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they walk away, he's like, I hope we could work together in the future. And then opens his chest and shows that he has no hair. Is like see, we could work together because I don't have hair.
I'm the good guy.
Only bad
I'm what
guys
you would
have chest
prefer.
hair.
It's true.
After we end at the hospital, we start episode 3.
Mm-hmm. Which is called Go Ahead, Fall in Love. Love is Russian roulette. Which, again, another incredible title.
It is a great title. Thankfully, the translations on these came through well, because sometimes these longer titles don't translate too well.
Yeah.
This
But
is like
no.
this is like a Vegas heist episode.
Yeah, it really is. There's like a secret society and all that fun stuff. I mean, it's literally a crime syndicate on planet Vega. So,
Not close to Vegas at all.
no. And we have to find the Golem poker chip. Not Vegas at all.
No, we find that the Golem poker chip is very well protected because the episode starts with a jewel heist.
Yep.
Or should I say an attempted jewel heist, as soon as the thief gets near the jewel, the poker chip, he is instantly vaporized.
Yep. Which is pretty cool.
Like, it cuts to like the boss man, not even worried that there's a thief in the room because he's not worried.
No.
He's just like,
He's like,
"No,
whatever,
we're-
I know what'll
we're good."
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kei and Yuri go undercover on a working vacation because they need to get this stolen gem. So what do? Join a high stakes poker game, which is always fun.
They also show up in some dope outfits.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Uh,
Yuri basically looks like Princess Peach.
And Kei is rocking that open backed style. Kei's was my favorite outfit of the two.
Yeah, I liked it too. It It made me think of Alexander McQueen with those kinds of, like, he did the very low cut backs on a lot of his dresses because he's
Yeah.
like, the top of the butt is sexy, which, I mean, he wasn't wrong.
No, everyone likes the little hip dips on the back.
Oh,
Back
yeah, they're great.
dimples.
Yep, they're pretty fun.
Bimples? No, that's a
Bimp?
bad
He was
term.
like, no.
This casino is like hardcore. All of the
Oh,
female
man.
staff are in bunny suits. They are met by a cute concierge named Sydney,
Ooh.
who takes them to this high stakes game.
Yeah, Yuri does great. Just kidding. She throws the game so hard. Oh,
How much does
man.
she lose?
30,000 credits?
Which is a year and a half's worth of vacation time.
Could you imagine betting that much and then lose? Like, oh, and like she does this on purpose.
She's not even worried because she's like, oh, we'll just
No.
expense it.
Yeah.
We'll expense 30,000 credits as part of our journey here.
I mean, I guess like like spy secret agents, I guess they would have a big expense account, but holy moly.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money.
That's so much money.
If we look at that as dollars, $30,000 is a lot of money.
Oh yeah, that's like what I made when I first got out of college. That was how much I made in a year.
Yeah. And
Ooh.
she biffs it all. And Kay's pissed. But it's gotten the attention
Yep.
of Sydney and Bossman.
Yep, the king.
And Sydney invites them to the king's mansion.
which is like at the end of a weird labyrinth.
Like a hedge maze.
Yeah.
You have to drive through this whole hedge maze to get to this mansion.
Man.
Because they couldn't just helicopter in.
Because that would be too easy. You have to appreciate all this topiary.
Which is funny because Sydney just drives through half of it.
Yep.
Like breaks through the hedge walls. We find out that the king knows that they are agents.
Yep.
Working undercover thanks to his intel, and guides them to a room where Sydney pats them down in a very respectable way.
Yeah.
Not that Kay wants it to be respectful. She is very adamant that this is a perk of his job because he gets to touch her, and she is blushing at the same time.
Oh, it's so
He notices
creepy, though.
something strange about her necklace, but says, I don't see any weapons.
Oh, yep.
Everything's all good here.
Yeah, there's no secret camera or anything right here. It's totally
No,
fine.
please wait for the king.
Yep.
But the king ain't coming.
Nope.
Because it turns out this is just another form of gambling, but it's on human lives.
Oh my gosh. Those are, yeah. It's like Rat Race.
Yeah. Except they're locked in a room with a giant DNA genetically engineered human being looking thing.
It's so weird and so like, ugh. Like, nope.
Placing bets in the background of who will win and who will lose.
Yep.
But very quickly, Yuri comes in with a chair from the corner.
Da, 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 da. I just think, the chair! Use the chair!
And then Kay hits him with some high kicks and trips him with some luggage
before
pulling her necklace apart, revealing that it was actually a flash grenade.
Whoa!
And knocks this giant creature out, where everyone begins to think that it's a scam because clearly this one was supposed to win. And the king's like, no, don't worry, I got this. We'll figure it out. Don't worry, your bets are safe. No one's going to be losing money. Well, some of you will be losing money.
Yeah.
We learned that the boss man has a fortune teller that guides him.
Yeah, which I was like, this is a bonkers episode.
It's like random old woman.
Yep.
Who's like, these girls will bring your doom. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yep. Just this old hag.
And so they bust out and the king is like, guards, kill them. And so they team up with Sydney, the concierge.
Ooh,
who it turns
Sydney.
out is working with them.
I guess, yeah, he's just like, I'm a double agent.
He's like, didn't the 3WA tell you I'm coming? And at first I was like, this guy is absolutely gonna screw them over. But then he's like, I'll deal with the guns, you run.
Well, and also that's a very smart thing on his part to do because, like, he knows they're chaotic and kind of unorthodox methods, so he could totally pull the, like, "Don't you remember?" And then, be like, "They're totally forgetting," and stuff like that, but yeah, no, so I think that was a very smart move on Sydney's part.
Yeah, it was very, very nice.
Mhm,
And so they're being chased through the halls, and Kay goes off on her own to deal with the core of this place.
mhm.
Because apparently the only way to turn off the security for the chip is to turn off the core. Kay proves to us that you can wear a dress and still kick ass
Oh, yeah.
because she, in a 10-second montage, absolutely destroys the entire security force with heels and a dress.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
But I mean, that dress had a pretty high slit in it, so optimum mobility.
Still, don't be afraid to kick ass if you're wearing a dress.
It's true.
Don't always need to turn and run. If your underwear shows a little bit, it's not the end of the world.
Yep. If anything, it'll be a distraction and it
Exactly.
will, give you a chance to get more damage or something.
Exactly. So she goes to shut down the core and accidentally sets it into self-destruct mode, causing all kinds of chaos, causing the security on the chip to turn off and everybody to run in and try and steal the chip.
They're all like on the ground,
Yeah.
try to like dig through for it.
And
And
so
oh my gosh.
Yuri runs into the room, but as she does, she passes the old woman leaving the room. After stealing the chip, Yuri runs out amongst the chaos to go find Kay, who, while running away from the exploding core, runs into Sydney, who kisses her
Mhm.
and says that she still owes him a date.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
she's all
Ooh.
blushy and having thoughts of love. And so everyone runs out of the castle as this whole fucking thing blows up in a light show.
Yep.
Like, anyone who was not innocent is dead.
Oh yeah. Which is like, oh no. The body count on this is pretty high.
Yeah, but they're bad guys. Who cares?
Yeah, it's
They're,
true.
they run a human, like, gambling ring.
What is it? Like play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, and in this case, your stupid prize was the dirty pair,
Death.
which
Yep,
can be the same
exactly.
thing.
Yep.
So yeah, the next morning we learned that Yuri accidentally grabbed a fake chip, but they
Mhm.
have a plan.
They do.
And we find out this plan when they catch up with Sydney at the airport.
Just trying to flee.
Yeah, where they steal back the proper chip because Yuri smelled his hair gel on the old woman.
Yep.
And that somehow
Yep.
tipped her off that the old woman was actually Sydney.
Oh my gosh. And then they flip for it to see who gets to keep the real coin.
But
Which I was like,
Sydney does like a little sleight of hand to like swap
yeah.
out a fake chip, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter because it turns out that the dirty pair play dirty too.
Yep. Oh my gosh. I loved the little like face that was on the coin when he finds out that it's fake.
He's on the
Oh.
airplane, he pulls it out and he's like, "What? Why is it dirty?" And he scratches it off and it's just a face of Kay, just like, meh.
It's so good. I love it.
And at first I was like, "Oh, they're gonna fuck up by losing this chip." I was fully ready.
I know
like,
that's what I
it.
thought too.
They've lost it again, but
Yep.
nope. It's all good.
They knew
Everything's
exactly what was gonna
honky
happen.
fucking dory.
Oh yeah. It's great.
This brings me to my favorite episode.
Oh, you like this one?
I love this one.
Oh, it had cats in it, so I guess it makes sense. But yeah, this one is called The Case Smells Like Cheesecake and Death.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Kay is watching the Elegants, a female wrestling team, kick some butt
Mhm.
on the TV. She's adorable. She's so excited. She's like shadow boxing along, having a good
Oh yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
And
Just fully into it.
yeah, and they get a message from their boss who tells them they
Mhm.
have a new mission. She goes, "Oh, but I'm sleepy." But don't worry, he says, this mission will wake them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yuri can't go. She alludes to it being that time of the month. But that time of the month, it turns out, is a date.
Yes.
But their boss does not think this is a good excuse and sends them to the research facility anyways.
Where we learn that a cat named, this is like an incredible cat name, Guillaume de Malatesta the 13th is missing.
A
Which
little
is-
fancy pink cat.
Oh my gosh, it was like just this like pink Persian. I was like, this is an adorable cat.
Yeah, its face was a little too human for my liking.
You're like, nope.
Its
No,
eyes
no,
were
no.
very human. I
Yeah.
had a job once where someone's dog had very human eyes, and I couldn't stare at it because it just weirded me out. But this cat had it was still an adorable cat, but it had these little bit of a weird eyes. But it's not just a regular cat.
No, it's got like top secret government like experimentation on it to have like all these heightened skills and stuff.
Superhuman serum, basically. They're
Yeah.
they're making a Captain America cat.
Yep.
But this
Because
cat is
they're
not red.
hoping. Oh, I
They're
was just saying
hoping that they can do it to humans.
Yep.
Yeah. But this cat is not a red, white, and blue cat. This cat's pink.
No.
This cat is very
With
pink.
big blue eyes.
She is on the lamb.
She's on the lamb?
Like on the run, on the lamb.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, they're on the run.
Yep.
And they learn that they have to go and catch this cat because if they don't, it could explode like a nuclear bomb or something, apparently.
Yeah, because it's not like a stable experiment yet. So they're like, we gotta be really careful because, you know, it could blow up.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, good. But then they give them the time limit of like, it could be in like an hour, it could be in 3 years, which I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like your science needs to be a little bit more precise there, bud.
It's like a lot of the clients I work with. They're like, we'll get you what you need. When will you get it for me? Could be tomorrow. Could be, in one case, 6 months later.
Wow.
Anyways, they have help though because they learn that this cat loves cheesecake.
I mean, I also love cheesecake, so I get it, Guillaume.
Yeah, and it has been spotted at multiple cake shops around town, with only 2 more it hasn't been to.
Yep.
So our
So we
group
gotta
is
go
supposed
undercover.
to go to the cake shops, but before that, a girl walks in. The scientist's sister. Yeah, she comes in with this gift. But Ray quickly recognizes her as a member of the female wrestling group, The Elegance.
Ooh.
And
So
has
she fangirls.
She fangirls hard to the point where she's like, "Can I touch you?"
Yeah, she's like, "Can I touch your bicep?"
And like, you give it on Land. Land was like, "Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
Right?
Touch me." And Yuri's like, "Please stop." And I'm like, Land said she could do it.
Consent was there.
Yeah.
It was freely given.
Exactly. My exact note is that would never happen at an anime convention unless you are paying.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, Kei just becomes like me if I was to ever meet Jason Momoa.
Really, Momoa?
I want to touch his biceps so bad.
There are so many better attractive people with the same body.
Are you yucking my yum?
Yes.
How dare you? I thought this was a safe space.
It is a safe space except for Momoa.
Wow, what did he do to you?
I don't know. Maybe he did do something bad. I don't know. I haven't checked the news lately. But so the next part is basically just like a chase scene.
Yep, 100%. Kei finds the cat.
They go to a cake shop. They find the cat. It escapes.
Yep.
She steals a cop car. Or no, motorcycle.
Yep.
And chases this thing.
Yep. So then obviously Yuri has to also steal a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, of course. And then they're being chased by other bad guys.
Yep. Who
they don't
basically
know
look
yet.
like the Blues Brothers.
More gangsters.
I was just like, yep, the Blues Brothers are chasing them.
And they finally catch up with the cat, but it escapes into the back of a newlywed's trunk.
Oh no! Yeah, they do. This poor newlywed couple. More like this poor husband.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's so bad.
I just love that they're like, why don't we have a bath and then thumb wrestle? And I was like, that's your date night? Wrestling?
I think that's alluding to something from the translation.
But yeah, I guess maybe it was just like a weird translation, but I was like, thumb wrestling. Okay, interesting choice. But I don't know.
It's broken up when Kei breaks through the door on a motorcycle on like the 10th floor of this apartment.
Yeah. Like just wow. I was like, are you from The Boys? What is going on?
Yeah, and chases so she breaks into his apartment.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, who is this girl? And she's yelling things that make it sound like she's talking about the boy in the room.
Yeah.
Like, how can you escape me? Like, where are you? I've been looking for you.
Yep. And then the wife is like, oh, so You're cheating on me? Is that what's happening? You're
But
getting other girls in here?
and he calms her down. He's like, "No, I only love you. You're my
Yep.
diamond. Let's go have a
Yep.
bath. Let me shower first," which is a weird thing to do before having a bath,
Yeah, I
I
was like,
guess.
I think that's a thing. I think that's a cultural thing.
Okay, then that's fine.
Because, like, the baths have to, like, you don't want to get the bath water dirty.
I guess, yeah. Usually I just shower after a bath, but I guess it makes sense to shower before so you're not just in your own soup.
Yeah.
Uh, but as soon as he's in the shower, uh, Yumi arrives,
Yeah. Oh, Yuri.
breaks down the bathroom door, or Yuri, sorry, breaks down the bathroom door and starts yelling more things that make it sound like she's talking about this man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the wife is like, that's it.
I want a divorce.
Oh, this poor man.
And like that scene ends with her yelling at him, like, I want a divorce, this is over. And it's
Yep.
like,
I'll take it
damn,
for
man.
everything. Oh,
He
man.
didn't do anything wrong.
I know.
But we cut to Mugi on a rooftop,
Yep.
surrounded by like a couple dozen cats,
Oh, yeah.
talking to them basically in cat, asking for intel on where this cat is.
Which, I mean, hey, he can get info that the dirty pair can't, so I
Yeah.
mean, that's smart on him.
Yeah. And so it turns out that the cat has made its way to a hair bank.
Because that's apparently a thing, I guess. That was, yeah. I was
It's
like,
like
what is,
it's like a sperm bank for hair.
yeah, it's like for men with receding hairlines, I guess.
No, you're supposed to make your deposits when your hair is healthy.
Yeah.
And you
And
come
then once,
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, when your hairline starts receding, you can come back and get your follicles, which I was like, that's, I
It's
mean, I guess.
it's a sperm bank for hair.
Yep.
When your sperm goes kaput, you get it from the bank. They see this cat run into the vault, and the vault's
Yep.
closed.
Oh, yeah.
And
The like
so
super secure vault.
yeah, so they start like saying, "Oh, we'd like to make a deposit, but we get a tour of the facility," and then try to use their credentials to get into the vault. And the guy's like,
Yep.
"We don't know who the 3WA are."
Yep.
So no. So
How would they not know who the 3WA is, though? Like,
I
I thought they were like this huge organization.
I thought the same thing, but they don't have time for that, so they just turn to violence and pull a gun on them.
I mean, if it works, it works.
And they get into the safe, and the cat is sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they chose to sleep in a safe, but the cat is sleeping.
Yep. Cat. Would you say the cat felt safe? The eyebrows were very much there.
Yes. As they grab this cat, a train bursts in
Yep.
to the... Apparently, this is not that secure of a facility because a train
Yeah.
bursts through the wall because it went off the track. Some gangsters...
Yeah, because the Blues Brothers were in the tunnel, like just sabotaging it,
Yeah, exactly.
as you do.
Yep. And it's a bunch of Tommy Wilden gangsters who, of course, get
Yep.
their ass kicked by the lovely angels.
Just hand it to them.
Yeah, and hundreds of cops show up as they open
Yep.
this gate and
Oh, yeah.
see these like these gangsters, and they're like, "You're under arrest," and they're trying to pass blame to the angels, like, "No, it's them who play the hostage route." Oh,
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
thank
that was
you.
so smart of them. We've been held hostage.
Thank you for saving me.
Yep.
And he's like, "No, they're lying." And then we get the best line of the series so far, when she smacks him and the guy's hat comes off, one of the gangsters, and he is like Friar tucking it up. Full skullet. And the
Yep.
cop goes, "I thought it was odd for someone to rob a hair bank, but now I see the motive."
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that line.
And I
Oh man.
cackled that line. I was like, that is some good writing right there.
Yeah.
because prior in the episode, we see the gangsters talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I might make a deposit here one day. You should do it too, boss." And he's like, What do you insinuate? You saying something?" And it turns out it's because he is very bald.
Yeah.
But so they steal a cop car, which then
Which I
makes the
thought was
cops...
so funny.
They just got off, and then in front of the cops, they steal a cop car.
Yeah, because someone's like, "Oh no, they're the bad ones. So they're responsible for all this," and they're like, "Aha, bye. We're just gonna steal this cop car."
And so they're chased by like 100 cop cars and one
Yep.
strange red car.
Yep.
Where they get onto a bridge being built that the
Yep.
cops now have to like back up and
Yeah,
go
they have to like
forward.
coordinate to make sure it stays balanced and like that they don't fall off.
But this red
Oh.
car catches up to them right as they capture this cat.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious that it was the sister and her wrestling partner because they're like, we need this to be like incredible wrestlers, so we're taking the cat.
Fuck my brother. I'm
Yep.
going to become a superhero for television.
Yes.
And I'm gonna do this cat. So they play hot potato with this cat, passing between Kei and Yuri.
Yep.
Uh,
Just like keep away.
yeah, while fighting.
Yep.
Until they finally manage to deal with the elegance, and capture this cat and bring it back to the scientist, who
Yep.
promptly tells them it's the wrong cat
Yeah.
because it
They're like,
has a ding-a-ling.
and then yeah, they were like, what? And then he just like flashes this cat to them, and they're like, ah!
Yeah, they didn't tell him there was an identical twin,
Right?
but it's okay because the episode ends with Moogie still
Yep.
doing his own detective work,
The two
having-
footprints in the stand,
Yep.
in the sand.
having a standoff with the real cat.
Yep.
And that's where
Oh
we
my
end,
gosh.
assuming that Moogie does his job, which he's a good boy. Of course he will.
Yeah, I was like, I think Moogie would be successful.
Yeah, and he catches
Yeah.
the cat.
Aw.
I like this episode personally, because A, it had all the cats.
I mean,
B,
you're biased.
the ridiculous concept of a hair bank.
Yeah, that was kind of
and-
funny.
Just like the fact that her fangirl, it's that thing where like you get a Harry Potter tattoo and then J.K. Rowling turns out to be terrible.
Oh,
It's the same
yeah.
thing for this.
Oh, it kind of is, yeah.
Because you're like, these are that morning, oh my god, these are my most favorite people ever. I love them so
Yep.
much. And then that
Oh my
evening,
gosh.
they try to kill you.
Yep, you're like, damn it, come on. Yeah, it's not fun.
No, in our 5th episode,
It was like so last episode, episode 4 was your favorite. I think episode 5 was my favorite.
episode 5 was a good one.
Yep. This one is called, oh gosh, Kirido's Heartbeat, which was really fun. I found this one to have a lot more horror elements than what we've seen so far.
Yes, this is known as the beginning of apparently a lot of horror styled episodes.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this one starts out pretty chill though.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know?
like Kay like just bopping to some incredible music that she's loving, and Yuri just getting annoyed because she's like trying to read, and she's like, "Can you not?"
And she turns off the anti-gravity and knocking Kay on her ass.
I know. And she was like, "Can you tell me when you turn on the gravity? That's really rude." So I was like, "Yeah, kind of
That,
is."
that makes sense. We learn though that Kay has a younger fling right
Oh
now.
yeah.
She met at a resort the other week and is supposed to meet him tonight at 7:00
Mm-hmm.
to go on a date at a cafe.
Ooh, how fun.
But we don't have time for that because
No, because they got attacked by a scary voice that just says "die" to them, and just like,
it's like glowing crystal appears out of nowhere, sets
Yeah.
a countdown timer on all of their screens, screams die, and then disappear.
yeah, which I was like, that's terrifying.
Yeah. So they land their spaceship at this spaceport because they're kind of shooken up. And they're like, we need to go to a hotel and like shower because they don't have that on their ship.
Yep.
And this guard is like, no, you're from off planet. We don't let people on our planet.
Yep. Sorry about it. We can't. And they're like, but you can.
Well, Kay decides to take the violence route.
As she
And
does.
and Yuri goes the smart route and goes, hi, we're agents. And this guy knows who the agents are.
Yeah,
they're good.
thankfully.
So
Oh,
gets them a
man.
hotel. Yuri goes off to like wander the streets, and Kay goes to have a shower before her date.
Yep.
Before she is attacked by a mantis robot.
Oh, not a mantis robot.
In our first real fan servicey scene of the series,
Yeah.
because we have a little shower scene followed by her being in her underwear.
Yep.
But
But
it's
even
like-
then, it wasn't
It's
bad.
surprisingly tasteful.
Yeah, it wasn't like porny at all. Which I'm fine with having those kinds of scenes,
Yeah,
but just don't make
absolutely.
it like hyper sexualized, and also they're adults, which is nice.
yeah. That's the thing is I don't have a problem with this because these are adults in the series, and I
Yep.
also don't have a problem with it in other series. Like for example, we watched Wicked City, and there was a ton of that, but it was part of just part of that body horror demon thing. I'm
Yep.
all good with that. It was part
Yep.
of it. I don't like
Yep.
it when it's just randomly not. Anyways, it's cute underwear. It's just like
Yeah.
little white
And
thing,
there's like
little
a
frill on it.
cute little butt cheek. Ooh.
and she fights this mantis thing before, again, stealing another cop car.
I mean, they should just have their, like, cops at this point should just be used to their cars getting snatched by these two.
You'd think so. But so she's flying through the town in this more like a motorbike. But
Yeah, it is
she
kind of, yeah.
pulls this dope 180 and blows up the mantis bot
Yep.
before being picked up by Yuri in the spaceship. And she's still in her underwear.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah, she doesn't really put on clothes until they get into their spacesuits later.
yeah, exactly. Which, like, I get it. You don't have time. You're being chased,
Well, 100%.
being
If I'm,
shot at.
you know, yeah.
And so they get into space, and Yuri deducts that they're being missed on purpose.
Yeah.
That they're trying to be captured, not killed.
Yeah.
And so their spaceship is surrounded by dozens and dozens of these ships.
Yeah, and they're
and
like, they're trying to go on the defensive, and they're like, yeah, this ship doesn't have all that.
Yeah, we're not we're a travel ship.
Yep. And I was
And
like, oh no.
Yuri has like these flashbacks in her mind of the word die and
Yep.
the countdown going down before the giant ship arrives, and we finally get to see what it looks like, and it's huge.
Yeah, it's gigantic.
It's like all these weird pillars coming off of it. It looks like an exploding star
Hmm.
made
I
of
thought it was
red
really
metal.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
super cool. It's like a unique looking ship, which is pretty dope. And we find out that it's super unique looking
Mhm.
because it's called the Graveyard of Nothingness.
Yep.
Because it
Which I was
used to
like,
be
that is an epic name.
yeah, it used to be a nuclear and other such materials recycling plant.
Yep.
But it was decommissioned when the creator and manager of it killed himself.
Yeah, that would be a good way to decommission it.
Yeah. So they are captured by the ship and escape as their ship is exploded behind them.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to get a whole new ship
Yeah.
later on.
Which, I mean, like, that ship wasn't really doing much for them, so.
No, it really wasn't. So
Yeah.
thankfully they get their spacesuits on.
Yeah, those are cool space suits too.
Oh, yeah. And instantly, Kei gets shot into the darkness. Laser beam takes her
Oh
out.
my gosh, such horror.
And just floating in the darkness. Yuri's calling to her. She's not answering.
Yeah.
And then Yuri's like, oh my God, this bitch. And goes, wow, what a hunk. And instantly, Kei's awake. Who? Where's the hunk?
Oh, yep. I was like, that would happen to me.
Kei is horny.
Yep. She's got her reservation at table 7.
Yeah.
At
And
the
so she,
Flamingo Cafe or something.
yeah. So she wakes up.
Yep.
And
Which actually, before we go on, I really like that because it did have, like, in terms of pacing and stuff, because it did have that, like, horror element, and then it dissolves it really nicely and with humor, and so I thought that was really cool.
very quickly shuts it down.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Mhm.
And we learn that this is actually a trap for them, specifically for them. And they deduce this because they realize that the man who killed himself, that the creator of this station was actually addicted to a drug that they had destroyed the drug ring of, and the
Mhm.
drug no longer exists because of it.
Yep.
And it turns out that he didn't kill himself. He just took his brain and heart and
He
put
just
it into the core of this ship.
Yeah, I was like, he just made, like, some weird sci-fi nightmare. Oh, man.
Yeah, they find this. Well, Kei finds this cybernetic core.
Yep. And it's like he's, like, kind of melded into it, and it's really weird.
Yeah, and this timer is counting down for this whole thing to explode.
Yep.
And
And they were
there's-
like, shit, this is soon.
yeah, there's literally nothing they can do. They have no equipment on them. Their ship's they've got nothing.
Yep.
Except for
But-
Nanmo.
Yeah. Nanmo, good job.
Nanmo steps
guy.
up and he ejects his memory disk,
Yep.
hands it to them, and goes beep boop beep beep boop, and uses himself as a bomb to blow up the core.
Yep. Which is like, I don't know. I'm like, I mean, smart. As long as, yeah, you got that memory chip, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
And he does. He does destroy this ship.
But they have to take his shoes off first.
Yes, because they need, they can rebuild him, but they can't rebuild his shoes.
Apparently not.
No, and so they're sad about it.
Yeah.
But Kay's not so sad because we can
No.
rebuild him.
Yeah.
Kay instead steals a ship off of the ship
Yep.
leaves Yuri on her own to get home and says,
Oh yeah.
sorry,
I've got a date and I'm
I've
late.
got a date and I'm late. And it ends with her yelling, you jerk.
Oh my gosh, I loved that ending. It was so funny.
It just shows the dynamic between the two.
Yep.
Because, like, every friends group kind of has that dynamic.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if you think that you're one, you're usually the other.
Yep.
Not always. Like, we know where our places are between Kei and Yuri.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to the internet. But I've had friends where it's like, I know that I'd like to think I'm the cool Kei, but I'm not. They are absolutely the cool Kei, and I'm the Yuri. Which is fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not sad
definitely the
about it.
more chaotic one.
Yeah. I can't think of a
off
good
the
pun
cuff.
for Yuri.
Oh well. I'm sure I don't know. We'll edit one in if we think of one.
Editor's note. So the music on the series is great. A lot of bassy stuff coming through all the stuff. The sound design is great.
Yep.
The animation, a little choppy.
It's so funny because there are some parts where it's choppy, and then there's other parts where you're like, whoa, that is like very dynamic, very like smooth, like not a lot of repetition. So it is kind of all over the place.
It is all over the place. And overall, it's not hard to look at.
No, I think it's very well designed. I love all the color that they use in it because it's not like overwhelmingly psychedelic, but it is stylized in a way that is like captivating and stuff like that. So I really liked the design of it.
I think the design's great. I think the characters are great. They're adorable. They are so well animated in the way that they handle their faces, and their actions,
and their expressions.
Their expressions, yeah, because each one has their own kind of way they do things. They get it very nicely, which is great. It's not just your typical anime, big eyes, big mouth. Every time something crazy happens, they actually have like facial expression.
Yeah.
And
you can tell there was budget.
Yeah, it seems like it wasn't just kind of like thrown $100,000 and been like, do what you can with it.
Yeah.
They had some, because like the backgrounds like were a lot of detail.
Oh
when
yeah.
In Brian, there's a lot of detail.
Yep.
And
yeah, they were beautifully illustrated, all the layouts.
Yeah, which is kind of a nice thing you get from the 80s is where it's really well done hand painted backgrounds.
Yeah, all this like watercolor and marker and stuff.
Yeah, and the voices, I didn't have any issue with the voices.
No, they were very distinct, which was nice. And it wasn't just obviously one person talking for both or whatever.
And usually the issue we have with voices is because we watch a dub and we get the curse of the dub voices. So this one was nice to hear the original official Japanese, not like the fourth English version or something that you get from a lot of stuff. So that was really nice. I like the characters.
I do too.
Yeah. I think between the bad guys and the bosses, everyone's different.
Yep. And everybody is memorable. Like everybody's, well, for the most part. I did find some of the like hunky, quote unquote, male characters a little forgettable.
Yeah, Grave. I don't think about Grave after the episode he was in.
Nope. Don't think about Grave. Think less about, or like, I think a little bit more about Sydney. Like he was more memorable. But yeah, for the most part, they were kind of like, meh.
It's not the last time we'll see Sydney, I imagine.
No, I don't think so either.
It's probably not the last time we'll see Grave, but it's definitely not the last time we've seen Sydney.
Yeah.
The side characters, Nanmo and Mugi are great. They're personable, even though they don't speak.
They are the like Chewbacca and C-3PO or R2-D2 or whatever.
Yeah, literally.
Star Wars.
Exactly. Yes, there you go. And then you've got your titular characters.
Yep.
Yuri, who has like this cool whip tool, which I forgot to mention earlier. It's like a pen, but it's like a full-on shooty long swing on it whip tool.
So cool.
Be very handy.
I mean, I just think whips are cool. Yeah.
Yeah, whips are pretty cool there. Y'all can't see it, but I'm being given the middle finger here.
I was like, that's why I gave it to you, so that you wouldn't say it.
And then we've got Kei, our blue-haired sweetie.
No, Kei is the red hair.
Oh, sorry. I was just talking about Yuri. Yeah, Yuri, the blue-haired sweetie, level-headed, a little ditzy, but means well.
She's more logical.
Much more logical.
Yeah.
And then Kei, our devil of the group.
Shoots first, asks questions later.
If she even asks the questions.
Yeah.
It just shoots
Very,
first.
like, goes by instinct. It's very much just like, ah!
Looking to fight and get laid.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah. I am Kei.
That's your new Twitter profile. Looking to fight and
Great.
get laid.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put that on my Tinder.
Please do.
Oh my gosh.
Please absolutely do. But no, this is a series again that I would watch more of.
Oh,
We've
absolutely.
seen a couple things that were like, nah. We've seen some stuff where we're like, hell yeah. This is another ones where it's like, absolutely. Is it a little bit repetitive? No, because each
Yeah, I was like,
one's
I
been a
even
different thing.
It's funny because I was like, is it? I didn't find it repetitive.
No, that's what I was alluding to. Is it repetitive? No,
No.
it's not. Each episode was a different thing they had to deal with.
Yep.
And I'm sure there'll be some filler here and there, but so
Oh,
far,
yeah.
everything's been different. It's been its own unique storyline with each episode, which sometimes I like an ongoing story. Sometimes I like piecemeal, one shots, if you will. But it's like
Maybe a double tap.
a double tap, yeah. A little two-parter here and there with a little cliffhanger.
Yep.
But so far, it has done nothing but made me want to watch more of it.
Oh, absolutely.
If you haven't seen the series, even if you've heard what we've said and you're like, I don't know, you guys don't describe it well, man. Well, first off, fuck you. Second off, watch the damn series anyways.
Yeah, I definitely think that people should watch a series. Like, it is I like sci-fi, and I think this did it really well in a way that's like very entertaining. It's still very captivating, and it does a really good job of incorporating different genres into it as well. So I definitely like it. And the design is really fun for it.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Hell fucking yes.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Woo!
I like a series where I can have, cool protagonists that aren't 12 or
Yeah.
have superpowers consistently. Because it's
Yeah.
like, I get it. Anime's for high school kids a lot of the time when they make them. But it's
Yep.
nice to have a protagonist that's not a superpowered 12-year-old who got the powers
Yeah.
because they breathed in the wrong air one day.
Yeah, I agree.
It's more realistic. I know we're in
Yeah.
space fighting space brains, but it's more realistic.
Yeah, I think it's because it is like two girls who are first off well developed in terms of their character, just going about their day-to-day job and the different things that entails. And there's nothing like superhuman about them or anything like that. Like, they're just two girls who are secret agents and like badasses.
They're well-trained agents.
Yep, exactly.
Hell to the yes.
Yeah.
So that has been Dirty Pair.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you enjoyed hearing our breakdowns of the episodes and the commentary on that. If you want to check out our previous episodes, which include such hits as Ranma, Cardcaptor Sakura, not such good hits as Angel Cop.
Oh gosh.
Halloween.
If you're gonna watch a sci-fi show recommendation, don't let it be Angel Cop.
No. We've also got 2 Halloween episodes with Vampire Hunter D and Wicked City.
Ooh.
And then the one you watched previous to this, or listened, I guess, previous to this, which is Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for what's coming up next, we have a special request from Lindsay to watch a series that some of you may not even know exists. And if you do, you're definitely over the age of 30. And we're on Canadian television, most likely.
I was like, millennial check.
We will be watching Samurai Pizza Cats.
Heck yeah. I am so excited.
Incredibly poorly translated, told to do whatever you want series that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yep.
Will be gracing your ears next week.
Oh man, it's gonna be a treat.
It will be an absolute treat.
Yep.
It will be a shit show, but it will be a fun shit show.
I mean, yeah.
So to make sure you get alerted of that, make sure to follow us on our socials at Animates, pretty much everywhere. Check the title of this podcast to see how to spell it. I'm sick of spelling it every dang time. But you can find clips, past episodes, and other fun stuff like that all across your favorite platforms. So make sure to hit us with that follow. It really helps out. Liking and following on Spotify, Apple, Amazon also
Mhm.
definitely does wonders. So, yeah, do it.
Yep, that's a command from us.
If you don't, I'm going to burn Lindsay's new house down.
No!